You little tease, spreading your legs like that, trying to seduce me. Deep in the night, inside a bar's women's restroom, I deliberately exposed myself. Through the one-way glass, I parted my legs, revealing that hidden part of me. But then a man accidentally walked into the wrong restroom. Every bit of my wanton display fell right under his gaze. Shame washed over me, and I felt my cheeks burning. I wanted nothing more than to flee, but he blocked my way, and without a word, flipped up my skirt. I had nothing on underneath. You like showing off, don't you? Show me more. With that, he exposed his own fierce arousal and pressed himself between my thighs. My name is Linda Molnar. The first time I ever heard of exposing was back in college through a news story. A female teacher, while her students were busy writing with their heads down, had deliberately lifted her skirt to flash them. But some nosy student filmed it and shared the video in the campus group. The whole school exploded. The teacher couldn't take the pressure and resigned. But watching that video, I couldn't help feeling she looked so free, exposing her most intimate self in front of so many men. It had to be incredibly thrilling. Back then, I didn't understand any of it. So I asked my best friend, why would a teacher do that in front of her students? Isn't she embarrassed? My friend said, what do you know? It is called exposing. She does it because she loves the feeling. Exposing. It was the first time I'd heard the term, so that feeling had a name of its own. I decided to try it myself for the first time, out where people might see. At night, I sat in a corner of the gymnasium, watching a group of shirtless guys play basketball on the court. My spot was dimly lit, the darkness just enough to hide me. That gave me an incredible surge of courage. I lifted my short skirt and parted my legs. My heart pounded with tension, mixed with a thread of strange excitement. I had never shown my panties to any man before. The shame hit me instantly. It felt intoxicating. And then the noise of my classmates in the distance only made that shame burn hotter. I could feel my panties getting damp, hiding in the shadows, secretly exposing myself. It turned out to be that thrilling. Soon, lifting my skirt wasn't enough. I slipped my panties off down past my knees. That private place was completely bare to the air. My bare bottom sat against the cold chair, my heart torn between fear and excitement. The other students wouldn't notice me, would they? It was like I'd opened Pandora's box. I grew addicted to that feeling of teetering on the edge of a cliff. Desire is like a flood once a crack appears. Nothing can stop it. Little by little, I stopped being satisfied with small exposures. To chase that irresistible rush of danger and thrill, I started trying it in riskier places. In class, I'd quietly slip my pants off while the teacher lectured, then let my hand wander. Walking alone, at night, I'd bare my bottom, lift my top, and stroll down the street. In my mind, I'd fantasize about some lecherous man charging at me, shoving me to the ground, and roughly forcing my legs apart. Then came the weekend. My roommates invited me to a bar. I'd heard there were plenty of good-looking guys there. It was like waving a red flag at my hungry inner demon. Soon we arrived at the bar. A few drinks went down smoothly, and I couldn't resist the urge to expose myself again, right there in the crowd. That craving was more addictive than poison. It felt like ants crawling under my skin. I couldn't sit still, but my roommates were right next to me. There was no way I could do that kind of thing in front of them, so I slipped into the restroom, thinking I'd ease the ache with my fingers. That is when I realized the bar had one-way glass in the restroom. From the women's side, I could see the main hall perfectly, but from the outside, nothing was visible. It was like this place was custom-made for me. I could expose myself boldly, without fear of being seen. I pulled my panties all the way down to my ankles and proudly showed off a woman's beauty to the crowd. I've always been pretty. My two breasts are like big basketballs. They bounce when I walk, and my long legs have charmed countless men. On the street, they can't stop staring. But they have no idea that beneath my skirt hides an even softer, pinker little valley. Society puts so many restraints on women. Even showing a little skin gets you judged. But right now, I could show it all without shame. I took off those annoying panties and set them aside.